Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. So I just signed up to another tarot course with my mentor. He's starting a new course for specializing in tarot and for taking what I already know into the next level, which I really going to enjoy. So I'm going to start that from September. And that is really exciting. And maybe I will start, I'll go back to doing more readings to local people, because at the past few weeks, month even, I went down from that a little bit, but now I'm ready to go back. So as I was promising, we are going to look into the relationship between mother and daughter, Doria and Meghan, from a narcissistic mother to a narcissistic daughter. And I'm using the WHITCHLING Academy Tarot. But before I start, let's take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It is open. Wait a minute. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such, may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourself. So when you read Tom Bauer's book, it is quite evident that Doria was or is narcissistic. She was a very uninvolved mother. Even before Meghan was born, she used to spend hours smoking pot with her friends, and she used to at least treat Samantha as a housekeeper. She very surprisingly stood up for Thomas Jr. when he was supposed to be when he was forced to study in an all-black school as part of a California integration program. And I think that was also part of her narcissism, because it was her going to the authorities and telling them that Tom is going through enough diversity at home. So that is boasting on her relationship with Thomas Sr. and telling how much she is, as a woman of color, contributing to Thomas Jr.'s, let's say, to his knowledge of diversity, and boasting on her being a mother or a stepmother role, which she wasn't that an involved mother, and she wasn't an involved mother with Meghan as well. As Tom Bauer does not really specify where did she go to when she was gone for 10 years. Thomas Sr. Was trying to say that they were still doing a lot of things together, but it was quite evident that she had things that were more of interest to her than being a mother. So she shows a lot of narcissistic traits, and I don't need to go over the narcissistic traits of Meghan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine two readings, two spreads, in order to see the way that Doria was as a mother and how it inflicted Meghan, and what kind of traits did Meghan, or what kind of narcissistic traits did Meghan get from Doria. So I'm starting with clearing the deck. Okay, so Doria's relationship with Meghan, narcissistic mother to a narcissistic daughter. Doria and Meghan's daughter and mother relationship. So let's cut the deck. And the first card is a card that describes the relationship between them, and the card that I'm getting is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of letting go, and letting go can be positive or negative, but it can be positive when you are saying, okay, I'm letting go of this fight, I'm letting go of this struggle, and I'm letting the universe decide what will happen. That is the positive way of seeing this card. The negative way of seeing this card is when a mother is in her relationship with her daughter, gets that card of letting go. This means that this is an uninvolved mother. This is a mother who doesn't show any kind of care or any kind of feelings towards her daughter. This is a card of someone who needs therapy, someone who is mentally disturbed. This is a card of someone who is in despair in a way. So, and this is a card of tension between a mother and a daughter. So, and here we don't see that, but in the Rider-Waite card, there is a very prominent moon in this card, but it doesn't really matter because this card shows us that for Doria, Meghan was overweight, was extra baggage. She just didn't care enough to be there for her, and in her mind, she could let go of Meghan, let the universe decide what will happen to Meghan, Thomas, for example, and just go on doing her own thing. So this is what this card is showing us. Not a very good card for a relationship between mother and daughter. So the next card is how did Meghan's narcissistic mother keep her from knowing and accepting herself? So how did Doria's being a narcissist kept Meghan from understanding who she really is, knowing herself? And what I'm getting here is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the hesitant knight. It is a person that loses opportunities because of his hesitancy. Someone who is looking for confirmation. Someone who is always looking for someone to tell him what to do. So this is about getting bored very quickly, about being idle, about being slow. This is about procrastination, stubbornness, and for Meghan and Doria, it shows that this was how Doria was a mother to Meghan. She was idle. She wasn't caring. She didn't even show any feelings. She got bored very easily from her role as a mother, and it left Meghan in this place of someone who constantly needs confirmation, constantly needs someone to boost their self-image, someone who is with very low self-esteem and constantly needs someone to confirm that they are worth something. So this is what this way of upbringing made Meghan a narcissistic. Okay. Next card is how Doria's abuse as a narc mother affected affects Meghan life right now. How does it affect her life right now? And what I'm getting here is judgment. Judgment is a card of change. This is a very painful and very long change, and as I always say, this is like the butterfly who's coming out from the cocoon, and it is a needed change, and a change that needs time. If you're not giving it the time that it needs, then then when you finish that change, you are unable to fly. Just like the butterfly has to strengthen his wings when he's coming out of the cocoon. So this change doesn't nullify what was before, but it is a very profound change. Now, because we're looking at abuse here and how it affects Meghan's life as it is today, it shows that she's afraid of change, that she's not satisfied with what she has. She feels empty. She's unable to persist. She's impatient, and she lets others lead her. And in a way, she's expecting things to happen by themselves. So this is what this relationship, and the fact that she was raised by a narcissistic mother, this is what it caused life as it is today. Okay. The next card is how this abuse affects Meghan business abilities. How does it affect her ability to become let's say financially independent, or to do business in the right way? And what we're getting here is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is the aloof knight. This is the knight that always looks for things that will excite him, the knight that gets bored very easily. So this is something that Meghan learned from her mother, because her mother is also someone who gets bored very easily and is not able to persist. And this is what the Knight of Wands is also, unable to persist. Someone who's unable to follow through an idea. Someone who's always looking for other things that will excite him. And because of that, he tends to lose opportunities. So this is what this relationship caused Meghan. She became a person that constantly is looking for things that will excite her, jumping from one bandwagon to another bandwagon, impulsive, unable to follow through things that she does initiate, reckless, someone who gets into quarrels very easily, someone who is self-destructive, impulsive, impatient. So this is what it caused her in work-related things, and this is why she kept jumping from one bandwagon to another bandwagon, and she keeps on doing that today. Okay. Next card is how this relationship affected the security of Meghan's life. How did she feel secure or insecure because of that relationship? And we're getting the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is a good card because it's a card of victory. And since we're looking at how this narcissistic abuse affected Meghan's feelings of security, we're looking at the negative aspects of this card, and it shows a person who is advancing too quickly without a solid basis. It's very much like the Tower card in a way, because the Tower card also speaks about a foundation. So this is a person that is running forward without solid basis, a very arrogant person, someone who is resting on his laurels without real reasons to do that, someone who is procrastinating, hesitating, and tendency to put things off, lack of tact, and someone who is inconsiderable to others. So this is how it affected her feelings of security. She did not feel secure. So since we're talking about security and we see a person who doesn't have a solid basis, we see a person who is arrogant, is procrastinating, hesitant. So it shows us that she did not feel secure because of the narcissistic abuse that she suffered. Okay, next card is, what kind of traits did Meghan inherit from her mother? What kind of narcissistic traits did she inherit from her mother? And we are getting the 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups is a great card. Once again, it is a card of first of all, it's a yes card. So if we're asking if Meghan did get narcissistic traits from her mother, the answer is yes. But since we are talking about narcissistic trait, we're looking at the negative aspects of this card. And this is a card of wishes coming true. But when it is on the negative aspects, we are looking at someone who is filled with aspiration for all sorts of things, harmony in his life, but finds it difficult to accept life's hardship. Someone who is unable to accept that everything has to be perfect in her mind, and it's very, very hard for her to accept that things are not as perfect as she thinks. So this causes a lot of anger that is not really expressed or released, or at least not in public, and someone who is feeling that he's sacrificial, feeling that he sacrifices so much for her family, for this happiness to happen, but it's not happening as she would like. So then these are traits that she got from her mother. This need for perfectionism, this need to have everything in harmony around her, the need to feel that everything is so perfect in her life and that all of her wishes are coming true, but unable to see that things are not always so bright and so shiny as she thought. So as a negative card, it's really, really a difficult card because it shows that a lot of narcissistic traits, and especially the ones that are speaking about the need to make everyone around her fit into her image of the world, and to try and to cause everyone to do the things that she wants them to do in order to make her world this perfect place. So this is about not only the need to feel that your world is perfect, but to try and to push everyone to enter to those, how do you say that? Into those patterns that she has in her mind. So this is the narcissistic traits that she got from her mother. And the last card is, what kind of false ideas did Doria give Meghan about herself? And what we're getting here is the 5 of Pentacles. So Doria was always warning Meghan in a way that if she won't take care of herself, she will end up in this destruction and failure mode. But what she did not teach Meghan is what she should do in order not to be in that place. So Meghan, in a way, always feels like she has this sword over her head, that she might end up in destruction and failure, but she does not really understand what is behind that, because what is behind the Five of Pentacles is always the Four of Pentacles, and that is the feelings of being threatened, and because of that acting out of defense and adhering to what you know and what you have, and being unable to change. And because of that, and we see that all through, she's unable to change, she's unable to accept things as they are. She is constantly trying to fit the world to her image of how the world will be, should be, and this causes her to end up in the Five of Pentacles. But this is something that Doria was always very strict about. Keep telling her daughter that she needs to be very active in order not to end up in this Five of Pentacles destruction and failure mode. So this is what Doria taught Meghan. Look at me, I am taking care of myself. I took from your father whatever I can. You should do the same. You should do that with every partner that you have. You should learn from me how to abuse a partner in everything that is connected to money, everything that is connected to feelings. Just look at me and learn. Look and learn. This is what Doria kept pumping into Meghan's mind. And with this sword of, if you want to do that, then you will end up in destruction and failure. So this is a very wrong way to teach a person how to act and how to be as a partner in relationships, and how to act in everything that is connected to her business and professional life. And that is why we see all of these very difficult cards that, despite the fact that they are good cards, when we look at the negative aspects of these cards, they are even more difficult than the Five of Pentacles. So this is why we see a person that is unable to change and is unable to accept change. We see a person that is hesitant and unable to looks for confirmation all the time, someone who is jumping from one bandwagon to another, someone who feels that she deserves this victory, but she doesn't have a real basis for that victory, and someone who feels that the world should adjust itself to her dreams and not she to the world's requirements. So we started with Doria leaving Meghan to do whatever she wants, what Doria wants, and just letting go of Meghan and not really taking care of Meghan as a child. And we end up with Doria being very frightening in a way to Meghan all her life, and trying to teach her that if she doesn't take care of herself, if she doesn't take herself as number one and the only person that she should take care of, then she will end up in the Five of Pentacles energy. So growing up with such a mother, not such a good idea. Okay, so this is the tarot, and I'm using the GATEAWAY oracle cards to see what kind of energy we can get for Meghan and for Doria. So I'm going to shuffle the deck. By the way, some of you talked about the clutter of decks that I have here. Well, you should come and see how many decks I have in my cupboards. I just don't have room to put all of this. And I also have a crate under the desk with more decks, and it's a sickness. I don't know. I'm unable to declutter. I'm unable to say goodbye to even decks that I have 2 or more times. So I know that a lot of tarot readers are like that. They, even if when they have a deck that they like, they tend to buy more copies of it just so that they have, well, so they have a backup deck in case. So that's exactly the way I am. I have the same deck more than once because I cannot not buy a deck that I like, and sometimes buy it with more than one copy. Okay, so let's start with clearing the deck. Once again, and let's start with asking. So, energy card for Doria as a narcissistic mother, and for Meghan as a narcissistic daughter. So let's start with Doria, and the card for Doria is Healing the Past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. So maybe today Doria realizes the things that she did and how it damaged her daughter, but or that she still thinks that she was doing the right thing, and that is why she's stepping into the future with strength and clarity, because in her mind she has clarity, and in her mind everything is okay, and she now is a lot richer than she ever was. She from a bankrupt person became a very rich person. So in her mind, she healed the past. She healed the rift between her and her daughter. They were not in good connection while she was growing up. Now she healed that, and she has a lot of strength and clarity for the future because she sees things from her narcissistic point of view. Now let's see what is Meghan's card, and we see renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. So, and we're just talking about decluttering, and this is about clutter. So this is about really getting rid of the things that are not helping her to go forward. This is about change. So this card is calling Meghan to change, that she needs to change, she needs to renew her life. The question is if she's able to do that. And during the tarot reading, we saw that she's unable, that she is reluctant to change her life. But this card is telling her that if she wants to go forward, she needs to change, she needs to renew her life. So this is it. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.